So we're currently on lockdown, meaning that all cinemas are closed, but a lot of films from the first few months of the year have been given early digital releases, meaning that I can check out the films that I've missed. I'm going to review as many as I can over the next couple weeks, starting with the new film from Pixar, Onward. Pixar have had a very tough decade. Although Inside Out, Coco, and to some extent the 2 Toy Story sequels were pretty good, they've not really been making anything worth watching in the past 10 years. Going into Onward, I had very low expectations, especially considering that most people kind of just gave it a resounding meh. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. The film is a road trip movie about 2 brothers who are travelling to get an ancient stone that they can use to bring back their dead father for a day. While story-wise, I definitely think the film is very predictable and follows many basic tropes, the characters are fun enough to keep the movie worth watching, and the emotional gut punches hit very strong. There's definitely the argument to be made that some of the emotional beats are kind of cheap, but I didn't have a huge issue with it, and I found myself getting suckered in towards the end. Similar to much of Pixar's movies, this is a film filled with a lot of charm and heart, and while it's nowhere near as good as their best output, it's better than what most animation studios are doing at the moment. The animation is incredibly vibrant and bright, although not very different. Although they use mythical creatures in a real world setting, it doesn't feel very original, and I felt reminded of Zootropolis multiple times. Although moments are definitely creative, I didn't find it anywhere near as creative and unique as something like Coco. I didn't feel they justified needing mythical creatures in the film past the usage of magic. Much of what keeps this film entertaining is the dynamic between the 2 brothers. While the characters are far from unique or different, and you can pretty much guess exactly what they're going to be like from watching the trailers, they're entertaining to watch and they have a very heartwarming relationship. The voice acting is pretty great as well, with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt both delivering very solid performances. The humour is very hit or miss, but I did find myself laughing more than I expected, and I felt like a lot of the magic in the movie was incredibly interesting and unique. But for the most part, the film is a pretty standard adventure movie, one that although I did enjoy, I don't see myself fondly remembering. In fact, I'll probably forget most of what happened in the film within the next week. It's far from the worst Pixar film, and honestly one of the better ones in the last decade, but I wouldn't recommend watching this movie seriously. It's a fun little time waster if, like me, you have nothing but time at the moment, but I wouldn't go out of your way to see it. The fact you can just rent it at home definitely makes me kinder to the film. Overall, Onward is a cute, heartwarming and fun adventure movie, but it's also pretty basic, filled with a lot of tropes and not very original. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.